I'm Naomi Rowling. I'm a qualified nutritional therapist, and I'm also an essential oil educator. And that's what you are as well. So we have a lot in common.
Absolutely. And we're both wellness advocates working
Indeed.
with Terra product.
Indeed.
And yeah, amazing stuff. What we are talking to discuss today, Naomi?
Well, I was thinking, because it's spring, although the weather today you wouldn't think it was, but spring is definitely here, because you can see all the leaves coming out on the trees. There's all, you know, the flowers are coming out and things are starting to grow again. And of course, along with the leaves coming out on the trees, we have things circulating in the atmosphere that might be affecting us. So I was wondering if you could talk about that.
Oh, yes, yes. This is a pollination season, isn't it? You have in mind. Yes, and pollen, which is formed by these grasses and flowers and trees, in some people, it causes the increased activity of special antibodies, which in turn trigger our immune system to produce chemical called histamine. And this is histamine which causes this inflammation, this reaction of the swelling of the respiratory tract, or redness of eye mucosa, actually inflammation of eye mucosa. And this is histamine which produces symptoms like itching, mucus formation, and very often as a result of it we are irritable and we have symptoms of fatigue.
Yeah.
So yes, I feel so much sympathy for this. People who are waiting spring and summer with fear and despair instead of waiting for this with joy, because I know what it means. And I've seen myself, and possibly you saw many clients who are affected by this seasonal threats, as we say.
Indeed,
So,
yes.
people stalking on antihistamines, and can we blame them? Not at all, because who wants to suffer really? However, I've got something to tell people about it at this point. I just wanted to share news. Please understand me on the right way. I'm not talking here about prescribed medication. I'm talking here about over-counter medication, which very often overused and or not used appropriately. So scientists from America clearly identified the connection of antihistamines with decrease in mental abilities and memory deterioration, and with a greater likelihood of Alzheimer's and dementia. So, of course, people would say what to do. And let's try to reduce likelihood of exposure to pollen, first of all, if it is only possible. Try to bypass parks and fields and vegetation areas. Yes, it's a good advice, but it's not always possible. Yes, at home, I would suggest to use special filters like air purifiers, diffusers with essential oils, and you will touch on this, Naomi, later. It's very necessary to wash your clothes regularly, like even after one use, because all these particles of pollen we keep on them. Or take shower before going to bed. Some people very successfully use neti pot, you know, neti pot with saline solution, but you have to be extra careful with this, because sometimes people have complication with this procedure. And be sure to change dietary habits, especially at this moment, because many people know that there is anti-inflammatory diet and pro-inflammatory diet.
Yeah.
So what we need to ditch just to take away from our diet, especially at this season, is sugar, pro-inflammatory. It's all about inflammation, all about taking down the inflammation. So sugar, white flour, pastry, all this stuff, dairy products. Dairy products, they're good. Nobody talking about taking them away for no reason, but at this particular moment, it's better to avoid it because they increase formation of mucus, making your breathing more difficult. Trans fats and hydrogenated fats, such as margarine and soft butters. Take it away because they're pro-inflammatory, and of course alcohol. So all these foods which I just talked about, they cause formation of histamine even higher, on the top of what you've got from the pollen itself. However, many foods have anti-inflammatory properties, and of course, this is rainbow-colored vegetables and fruits. And they contain polyphenols and other antioxidants. And what antioxidants do, they just fight inflammation, they bring down inflammation, they neutralize inflammation. And this is very, very important. And of course, as a nutritional therapist, I always suggest to supplement. My favorite at this time of the year is the blue polyphenol complex. Can you see it?
I can, yeah.
There's a very, very potent polyphenols. I'm not talking about substitution for the good diet. It's like help on the top of the good stuff you eat, good vegetables and fruits. Omega-3 fatty acids. Definitely your friend at this time. Yes, we can eat fish, although there's times to find good quality fish, not contaminated with mercury, is very difficult. Chia seeds, flaxseed seeds have anti-inflammatory properties. You need to green flaxseed seeds to get omega-3 from it. And I would suggest to supplement omega-3 because to bring proportion up as much high as we can. And if you consume meat, please try to consume meat which from the grass-fed animals. So just to bring down inflammation. There are some specific foods which have antihistamine properties. For example, apples, broccoli, citrus fruits, red onions, red cabbage, berries, grapes, and cherries. They have plenty of polyphenols and they're antihistamine fruits, and rose hips as well. I want to touch on the herbs and spices. So spices and herbs to increase maybe this time of the year: parsley, thyme, curcumin, ginger, chamomile, nettle, and basil. And also I wanted to touch on fluids intake. It's so important to increase intake of water. Why? Because it flushes away all the particles, all the metabolites of these pollens molecules which circulating in our body, and this is water what flushes it away. Herbal teas counts. If you drink coffee and tea, 1 cup a day is fine, absolutely fine, but just remember that you dehydrate yourself. So basically for every cup of coffee and tea you drink, just drink twice much amount of water. This is, in the culture of Italian people, they drink always water with coffee. And also, exactly, this is why. And Turks as well, It's in their culture to drink coffee and water.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also very important to watch, to think about intestinal health, because there is a direct link between leaky gut, as we say, or intestinal permeability and allergies. They're connected. And while you are on anti-inflammatory diet, which I told before, it's the best time to start to heal the intestinal permeability. So to bring together these little gaps on your intestinal lining, because many do not realize even how important it is, especially for those who suffer from any kind of allergies. And what you need, you would need L-glutamine. This is my suggestion. There are others. Some people, for example, use meat broth, collagen. I suggest L-glutamine. L-glutamine is just amino acid, which gives energy to the enterocytes, the cells which comprise your intestinal lining. And because of this extra energy, your body produces more of these cells, so they're healing these gaps. And also very important is to take probiotics. There are some probiotics. I always suggest this PBIC's probiotic.
Oh, my favorite.
Exactly, and there is a huge reason why. Because it doesn't actually contain too many of them. It's only 6 billion comparing with other probiotics, which contain 60 billion. But there is a good reason for this. This is because the capsule is double capsule. The inner capsule contains probiotic cultures and outer capsule contains prebiotics. And this is why it goes through your stomach, and from the area, there is an area in your stomach which contains hydrochloric acid. And this hydrochloric acid been given us to kill all the bacteria. This is our first line of defense. So it would kill. If the bacteria is not protected, it would kill bacteria. Bacteria. So basically, this bacteria goes straight through this area in your stomach into small intestine unhurt. So this is why I love this PBICs, and it worth obviously investment in this probiotics. So yes, and I wanted to touch very quickly on stress, because we all know that stress trigger autoimmune conditions, and the seasonal allergies is autoimmune condition. So what I suggest aromatherapy sessions, I suggest massage with essential oils, calming, meditation, going to sauna. And also I wanted to touch on aroma touch technique. And the aroma touch technique is very simple technique to learn. And it's been proven in study that it has an ability to lower inflammation, and this is what we need to do. It's all about inflammation. We need to bring this down by any means. So and if someone just listen to us and think, where can I learn aromatouch technique, please contact person who shared with you this video, and they will tell you dates and will tell you how to become aromatouch practitioner or just learn it for your family. This is that's all what I wanted to talk to tell today about this. But I wanted you, Naomi, if you may, to open for us doTERRA essential oils. How essential oils can help this problem, please.
Well, thank you for covering that so comprehensively. There's lots of valuable information that you just shared with us.
Thank you.
The oils that come to mind when I think of these things are, we've got the lavender, we've got peppermint, and we've got lemon. So those three together are a really fabulous combination for dealing with seasonal threats and so on. And you can put them together, you can put 2 drops of each into a little empty capsule. But that's all very well. That's great if you're at home. But if you're on the go and you're traveling, you're out and about, doTERRA has a really good solution. They combine those into, and you've got them there. That's
You're talking about trees.
The Tri-Ease seasonal blend soft gels. Yes.
Yeah.
So Tri-Ease, please, when you're on the move. So that makes it really convenient and easy to take. And you know, if you haven't got time to fill a capsule, that's really good. Now, individually, these oils are very effective, but when you put them together, they work synergistically, as a lot of oils do. So the effect is amplified. And so the combination of these 3 oils promotes a healthy inflammatory response and promotes feelings of well-being and eases the discomfort of seasonal issues. So lemon we know has cleansing properties, and it makes it beneficial for respiratory issues.
Lymph circulation, yeah.
Indeed. And the lavender is calming and balancing, so that calms and balances the system. And then peppermint, well, you only have to take a whiff of peppermint and you feel the effect, the way it helps with clear breathing and helps with respiratory function. So when we're being affected by seasonal elements, we've got something natural to support us. And it's well supported by the science as well. So it's always worth researching these things. Yeah. So for a do-it-yourself, you can have 2 drops of each in the capsule, but the Tri-Ease is the one to go for convenience. So the other one that I really like, and I haven't got, we've got a new name for Breathe. It's now known as Air, the respiratory blend.
In Europe. But if people listen to us in other parts of the world, it's still Breathe.
So it's Air Breathe stroke Air. And you can see, I don't know if you can see on there how popular this oil is with me. That's something I do use quite a bit. So if you think of single oils being like a soldier, all the oils in here is like the whole battalion.
Wow.
So it's really, really powerful. There's some familiar ingredients. If you read the label, I always read the labels, I'm curious. So you read the label, there's some familiar ingredients and some that are not so familiar. So we've got laurel leaf, which we know as bay leaf. You know, a lot of people have bay trees in their garden and they use the bay leaves in cooking. Well, this is the oil from bay leaves. And then we've got eucalyptus. We know that well as well. That's commonly used for inhalation. You know, people put it in a bowl of steaming water and they will inhale it. Peppermint, as I said before, that's to help with the clear breathing and respiratory function. And then you've got melaleuca or tea tree, as it's popularly known, and that promotes a healthy inflammatory response as well, along with peppermint and the eucalyptus, and also cardamom, which is in this oil. They all help to promote a healthy inflammatory response. And so the other thing we've got, again, we've got lemon, the oil from the lemon peel, as we got in the Tri-Ease. Again, you know, that's for cleansing effects, and it's uplifting as well. And then cardamom, that's in Breathe. I can always smell that cardamom note. I love it, and it gives it a lovely warm note. It's a really beautiful spice, and it supports health, you know, sort of healthy airways and clear breathing. Now, there's 2 oils that on the end of this list that are not that familiar to people. One is Ravintsara, that's spelled Ravintsara, and the other one is Ravensara. Now, sometimes these 2 are confused and people think that it's the same thing, but it's not. It is 2 distinctly different oils, and they both come from Madagascar. And the Ravensara, they're both members of the laurel family as well, so they're related to the bay tree. So Ravensara is it's called Cinnamomum camphora is the Latin name for it. So it has a camphorous quality similar to eucalyptus, and it's this from the same tree, incidentally, that gives us hoewood that's in the Balance blend. So don't know if you knew that. And
This is
also,
interesting. Thank you very much. I just was trying to unmute myself. This is very interesting information. Not many people just dig there.
That's right. So it just again shows how we get oils, different oils from different parts of the same plant. So the hoe wood comes from the bark, I believe, and this comes from the leaves. Now it's interesting that Ravintsara and Ravansara, which is Ravansara aromatica, they've got very similar names, and I think it's probably to do with the meaning of the name, because Ravina means leaf, and Sara, Tsara, means good. So you're talking about something that's a good leaf.
Oh.
So they've probably got the same name, but people know that they're talking about different things in Madagascar. So Ravensara to Madagascar is what tea tree is to Australia. You know how we know tea tree comes from Australia, it's very popular in Australia, it's been used for centuries in Australia. Well, Ravensara is the same in Madagascar. And it has a sort of it modifies our response to, you know, seasonal issues. So it's a calming oil. It's very uplifting and it's relaxing. And I really hope it's one that doTERRA brings out as a single oil, because when I was researching it, it's just got so many good properties that I'm really kind of thinking, oh, this would be an exciting one to have. So in terms of how to use this particular blend, I like to put just a smudge, not a drop. I just wipe my finger on the top of the bottle, and the reason I don't want a drop is because I put it either side of my nose. So if you put too much, you know about it because your eyes can feel it. So it doesn't do any damage, but it's just more comfortable just to use a little, massage it in, and little and often is the rule. So it's metabolized quickly, so you can, you know, reapply it as you know, when you like. So I do that, and I also diffuse it at night before I go to bed. So run the diffuser in the bedroom so that the atmosphere is full of, you know, the diffused oil, and obviously that's going to help because when you lie down, you can sometimes feel more
pressure.
You know, more pressure. So that's what I do. That's how I use it. So yeah, that's my take on these oils.
Fantastic. And do you know this roll, the prepared roll with the coconut oil diluted?
Yes, the air touch. Yes. Yeah. I have got one of those. I forgot to bring that out. But yeah, pre-diluted. That's ideal. You can use it on your chest. You can use this aromatically and topically. So you can simply use it straight from the bottle. So if you're on the go,
because so many children now suffer as well.
Yes. So for adults, that's fine, but for children, the diluted one is perfect. Rollerball, you can put that on the soles of the feet, you can put it on the chest, and it's one that my 9-year-old grandson enjoys using. So
really, 9 years old grandson, fantastic. This is great. This is great. Amazing stuff. Yeah, and you know what I wanted to, what my message always is, before you reach out to the over-counter medication, just try first something which is natural, which people anyway used for centuries.
Indeed, And it's interesting that we have, these things have been used for centuries because people had a wisdom, an innate wisdom about using these plants, and a knowledge that was just passed on. And now we have the science behind the knowledge. So we've got the old knowledge and the new science and bringing them together.
Reinvented. Old knowledge reinvented.
Indeed, yes.
Okay. Well, this is all we wanted to tell actually about the seasonal threats and how we can help with essential oils. Shall we just ask people who will be listening to this webinar, just ask questions underneath, and we will answer these questions. Maybe somebody wants to know more how to dilute, maybe somebody wants to know other essential oils, because we also can use arbovita essential oil for respiratory problems. Aromatherapy is such an interesting subject because it's very individual, isn't it?
Indeed, yeah.
One oil will help to one person and another oil to another. So it's always worth to contact a person who invited you to or send you this video and ask questions. Thank you so much. It was very nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, Irina. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.